Chapter 2, the Health and Safety Management System, Subchapter 2.3. How complex should your system be? We just saw how your management system needs processes, procedures, and records. But how complex and detailed should you make your system? Should your system be complex? It should be made of, let's say, 10 processes and 15 procedures? Or should your system be simple? It should be made of, let's say, 5 processes and 6 procedures. The standard is very clear on this. Your system has to be like a tailor-made dress. Its complexity should depend on the context of the organization, number of workers, location, dimension of the company, the scope of the system, the activities of the company, the hazards and the risks related to the activities of the company. To put it simply, it depends on how big your company is, how complex your activities, and how risky they are. Think of the example we saw before, in which the management system is a machine made of gears. Different companies have different systems made of different gears. Now that we got the general criteria, we can go back to the slide we discussed before and try to answer that question. We said that one criterion can be the company's dimension, so we can easily guess that a big company requires more complex system than a small company. So we can easily guess that a big company requires a more complex system than a small company. Why? First of all, because a big company usually means more workers and more working areas. Their interaction could be complex. Therefore, there is more need for a common set of rules, which can be, of course, provided by our system. On the other hand, a small company will be okay with a simple management system. Small companies usually means less workers and a simpler way of getting things done. Another criterion can be how risky a company is. I guess we could say is that the more your company is risky, the more your system will have to be complex. The system of a steel factory may probably be more complex than the one of a retail company. For this reason, we'll put an image of a factory with a flower, symbolizing low hazard or low risk, in the box of simple OH&S system. And we'll put an image of a factory with a flame, symbolizing high hazard or high risk, in the box of complex OH&S system. So generally speaking, big companies, high hazards, high risks, need a complex system. Small companies, low hazards, and low risks are fine with a simple system. Of course, these examples were oversimplified. Many situations lie in the middle. What about a small company that does something very risky? What about a big company that has very little risks? In these cases, usually, companies rely on the help of specialized consultants that help finding the right solution. Like a tailored dress needs a tailor, an OH&S system needs a consultant. Okay. Now that we introduced the main concepts, we can close by looking at what the standard says in Clause 4.4. The organization shall establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve an OH&S management system in accordance with the requirements of this international standard to improve its OH&S performance. Let's try to translate this into smaller concepts. First point. Your company needs to give itself rules. This can be made by writing procedures, which are documents in which your company writes down how things have to be made. To be honest, when you have to write procedures, most of the times there is no need to come out with new rules. You will just have to write down, in a nice and simple way, the rules that already are in place. Other times, you will have to come out with new processes, and therefore you will have to make new rules. In these situations, procedures will work as an excellent repository for the new rules that the company put in place. Second point, your company needs to follow the rules it decided to give itself. So there is no point in writing a lot of nice procedures just to leave it all on paper. Just try to be as honest as possible.